Hey there, folks. Well, I did it again. Even though I tried really hard and made a mental note and a conscious effort not to do it. What is that, you say? Well, I overdid it. I pushed myself and I got hyper focused on something, and it is Friday and I am wiped out. Physically mostly, not mentally. That's the problem. That's what I keep doing. I pushed myself physically to the point where I can't do any more, but my brain still has all kinds of ideas and desires to keep doing. So here we are, Friday. Here's the positive. I always try to look for the positive for any time, things don't quite go the way I want them to go, or hope they go, or plan for them to go. First of all, it is Friday and my new carpet has not been installed. And that's fine. That's exactly it's not what I planned for. Hope for the best and deal with the worst. And it's not even the worst. It's exactly what one would expect. Before I even went in to talk to them, I expected it to take a week for my carpet to come in or to be installed. It is in. It is there. And so it was delivered to them, I think Wednesday, and they called me. But within a week, which I also expected to some extent, they went from their installers sitting around looking for something to do to their installers being booked up and busy. So no worries, it'll get done on Monday. But the positive, again, looking for the positive is that my carpet wasn't installed before the weekend. So therefore, I am not tempted or feeling like I need to put that room together. It can sit there till Monday. And that's great because my body needs it to sit till Monday. Because otherwise, today or tomorrow, I would have been in moving furniture. And I started the week by moving furniture and cleaning this room. You wouldn't know by looking at it, but that's beside the point. And then I spent, all the other time painting, ceilings, walls, polishing woodwork, cleaning closets, all the things, and replacing electrical outlets, which ended up being a much bigger job than I had anticipated it being. A more physically demanding job, I should say. Anyhow, so today is Friday, and I have nothing on my calendar. And usually that would mean, I have the whole day to get into a project. But I'm trying to take a step back and reassess. And a couple things that have been missing in my life lately are time to create, time to make. And you might say, well, Beth, you spent all summer making all those witches' hats and cloaks and all the things that I made, baskets, and I made a lot of stuff this year. But as happens, making things for other people or for an event or trying to turn them into a business and sell them turns your hobby into something completely different. It changes what your enjoyment of it completely different. Now, I enjoyed making all those things because I liked the creative process of I wasn't manufacturing assembly line style for the most part. Few items I was. So it was okay, but I still near the end felt like I was pushed up against the clock to get things done and get them done in a certain way so that they, I'm pretty particular about my sewing projects anyway, but when somebody else is going to be looking at them, it takes it to another level. All that to say, I haven't just had creative playtime and I need that. But I also just need kind of mindless relaxation to take my mind off all the things that need to be done around here. So today I moved my spinning wheel out here into it should be called the living room because I do live in here, as we've discussed already, like a week ago. And I spun one evening, and it felt really good just to sit here and spin and watch TV. And I getting the touch back, muscle memory going again. I am not a skilled spinner. I've only been spinning probably a little over a year. I mean, I got my sister sent me this wheel in March of 2023, but I had a real hard time figuring it out on my own. So then she helped me out last summer. So now I'm getting better at it, plus a lot of videos and just practice. Just like anything else, it takes practice. So so don't watch my videos of my spinning looking for helpful professional tips, because I don't have any that I haven't stolen from somebody else. But this is just nice and relaxing. It takes my mind off things. It gives my mind space to think of other things. So this is how I'm starting my day. I might get into something else as the day goes on, but I just want to give you permission, if you need permission, to take a step back and get back in touch with what makes you happy and brings you joy. Not that my new bedroom isn't bringing me immense joy, but honor yourself, honor your limits. And I feel like I'm just preaching that over and over again, but sometimes you got to preach to others so you can hear it yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah, give yourself permission to just take a day off and do what you love. Assess your life and go, what's missing? Do you love to read, but you haven't given yourself time to read? Do you like to garden? But whatever your hobby or your love or whatever it is that brings you joy, it might even be napping. That's a big one for me. And quite often I don't give myself time or the grace to say, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go take a nap. So whatever it might be, it doesn't have to be something you do, but it's something that feeds your soul. So make sure you find time, not find time. You'll never find time. There's not like a dust bunny of time hidden under your couch or behind your bathroom door. There is not a time tree out in the forest that you can go and pick extra time. You will never find time. Make time. Give yourself the gift of time. giving yourself the gift of time is so important. And often I hear the comments when I share some of my makes, some of my things that I enjoy doing, things that I make time for. I give myself time for. I hear comments. I get comments like, must be nice to have so much free time. And I'm like, we all have the same 24 hours. Now, granted, I am not working 12-hour shifts. I am not working third shift where I'm up all night working and coming home and sleeping. I get it a lot. I am very blessed that for most of the time, my time is my time, and I'm able to use it in any way I want. So I understand that. A lot of people don't have as much free time as I do. And I understand that. But even when I had 2 young children at home, I was managing the home by myself. My ex-husband traveled a lot. So when I say that, it's not like he didn't help, but he just wasn't physically there a lot of the times. Disclaimer. No, try not to ex-husband bash. I really find that distasteful. And anyway, even when I didn't have all of my time for myself that I could arrange and do, I still made, for my own mental health and a little bit my own physical health, I found pockets of time that I could do what brings me joy. So no matter where you are in life, even if it's 15 minutes, I remember a shower, a 10 to 15 minute shower when my girls were really young, being decadent. And if I had time to deep condition my hair and shave my legs too, spa day, if my shower lasted 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes. So I get it, but it's really, really, really important. So no matter where you are on your life path, if you're a young mother, a young parent, I should say, or a young working person who is, at their, trying to make their career happen, and hustle culture and all that BS. Or if you're like me and you're semi to fully retired and have a little more of your time, the thing is by the time we get into our 50s and 60s and we have more free time or more of our own time, our children are gone, our careers are maybe winding down, we've forgotten the importance of taking that time for ourselves, making that time for ourselves. So if you're in that spot, give yourself the grace. Yeah, you've been hustling. You've been hustling for 30, 40 years. And now you're just like, retirement does it for people sometimes. They're like, I don't know what to do. I'm bored. Well, what did you love to do when you were 7, 8 years old? It might have been going outside and finding a creek and poking sticks into mud and whatever. Well, okay, maybe at 65 years old, you're not going to go walk in a creek and stick sticks in the mud and see what comes out or whatever, but gets out. That tells you being outside brings you joy. I'm not going to enumerate all the things that might bring you joy, but I want you to think about that. And childhood joy, if you were blessed to have a childhood that was filled with joy, is a place to start. But if your childhood was filled with pain or trauma or hurt, sadness, all those not so good things, perhaps you can take a moment and think about what you wish you could have had, what would have brought you joy, what you had maybe seen other people have or do and felt remorse that you weren't able to do that. And now as an adult, you can do it. And it could be anything. Recently, last night, one of my guilty TV pleasures is to watch Masked Singer. In the early seasons, I could kind of guess who the people were pretty good, but now they've I usually don't know who I can't guess very well who the stars are under the mask. But that's neither here nor there. Spoiler alert if you're a Masked Singer fan and you haven't watched the latest episode and know who was unmasked. So here's your spoiler alert. If you're behind on your Masked Singer, it is Friday, October 25th. So if you did not watch this week's Masked Singer and you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead. Okay, that said, probably by the time this comes out, there'll be 2 more Masked Singers unmasked. So anyhow, the point is that this week's unmasking revealed the lovely and talented Laverne Cox. And if you're not familiar with Laverne Cox, she was on, probably came to fame, I would say, in Orange is the New Black a number of years ago. She is a trans woman of color, extremely talented, and has been an advocate for that and many other marginalized communities and people. Laverne revealed during her reveal, or during one of the clue packages, that, and it was Barbie night for the record, just so you understand, she was never allowed to play with dolls or Barbies when she was a child, and always wanted to, but wasn't given the opportunity. So as an adult, when she became her true self and had some money and had the opportunity, she bought herself all the Barbie stuff she could find. She collects Barbie things. She now has a Barbie modeled on herself. So that's what I'm telling you to do, or advising you to do, is if you didn't have the childhood that you dreamed of, didn't have the dream house, now as an adult, find a way to give yourself a gift of the childhood you didn't have. There you go. I'm going to get back to spinning, and then I might get in the sewing room and just play. I need a creative play day. I don't need to make something that needs to be made, although I really do need to make some curtains for the bedroom. But I have the rest of the weekend. That's the other positive, is that I feel like crap on Friday, but I still have Saturday and Sunday, so I still have a full weekend to recover and maybe get back to work. All right, I'm going to get back to spinning.